Joining me right now, Sierra Bender. She is an author and talking about women's empowerment. We've been kind of having a series of things that are going on, short little vignettes to try to help you in your daily life. When we talk about something like the abuse of power, you say it really starts out by the definition of what is masculine and what's feminine. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so these two words are huge in how they lead our lives. So we think of feminine as being woman and masculine as being man, but they're actually two separate forces with equal power. So let me explain. Feminine means being open, receptive, allowing, silence. They're energies. They're not adjectives, a description of a woman. And then we have masculine is effort and intellect and driven and movement. And so when we download data, that's being receptive. All of our instincts, our intuition is open. What we do with that information is movement is masculine. So instead of being reactive, we're actually acting because we are, again, downloading that information. That's power when I'm in balance with both of my energies.
So to understand that there is no stereotype that you can't be both of these things, because in reality you can be. Now when we talk about the abuse of power, you work within as an organization. You've got a boss and then there are people below the boss, even though you don't like to use the word below. Doesn't that in itself create problems in terms of your own perception about what the boss can do and get away with versus what you can do and get away with?
Well, a great leader will motivate people, and that's what emotional intelligence is. And empowerment means pulling forth what's already within you. That is what a great boss will do, a great leader will do, will pull that out of you so that we get the bigger picture, the bigger vision, the bigger mission. But I hate to say it, part of the corporate world is that there's one person at the top giving orders down, and then everyone feeds into those orders because it's based on fear.
And for so long, people have kept their mouth shut about the sexual harassment that's been going on, protecting the person at the top, whether it's a male or a female. So how do you break that cycle?
Well, to break the cycle is we have to change our perception of certain things that we've been taught to do, you know, as a society. So that's why I'm going back to what is feminine and what is masculine. I mean, even there's less women leaders in the corporate world and there's more men leaders. Why is that?
Yet we are seeing that change because you're seeing more and more. So some of it is the perception of what you see versus the reality of what's going on. Because you may perceive your work situation as being something, but in reality, you may be being put down or maybe sexually harassed, and you haven't even realized it because you're not in that mindset yet.
Correct. I mean, even you look at a lot of organizations that are male, mostly male. Corporate world is mostly male. You know, I was just speaking at the Boston Police, and they're trying to bring more females into these organizations. Right. But they're not, you know, women are not going to come into these organizations unless they understand the value of what they're bringing in as a woman. And so there's the male herding that kind of pushes them out, and that's the abuse of power also. So it's like, well, how do we heal that, or how do we create the balance in that? Instead of saying, oh no, we don't want women here, it's more or less, well, what do women bring to the table? We don't want to power over so much men. We want to be treated as an equal, that we bring this to the table.
Wow.
So for sexual harassment, for such a thing, do you think a woman, you know, even being a statistic myself, do you think the first person I want to see is a man? No, I want to see a woman who's going to be able to understand, or partly understand, what I'm going through. Because he becomes a threat. So it's understanding what both parties bring to the table. Yeah, and let's face it, most of the time we don't spend the time to sit back and go, I'm going to think about that, which can be a problem. Great, Sierra. We're going to be talking about other great topics with her that have to do with women's empowerment. We think you're really going to enjoy them. Sierra, good seeing you. You too. Thank you.